So, all right, it's okay.
Mm. Yeah, thank you.
So, could you please brief out yourself? What did you in your past and which tech stack you have worked on?
Yeah, sure, sure, Rishabh. Uh, Very good afternoon. And myself, Pranay. I have 4.3 years of experience in AWS and GCP Cloud. So I started my career as a junior DevOps engineer, and I worked on AWS Cloud. So in AWS, I worked on EC2 instances, S3 buckets, and EBS volumes, Route 53, and mainly VPC and IAM rules and policies. So coming to the DevOps side, and I worked on Jenkins, so Git, Maven. I'm good at in Linux also. So in our project, we developed a CI/CD pipeline. So where in that CI/CD we configured Sonar Cube for code analysis test, and we built a Docker, and we installed the necessary plugins and all the Docker, and we integrated the Kubernetes. So after the post deployment, uh, for monitoring side, we installed the Prometheus and Grafana in the CI/CD pipeline. Uh, so then later I joined in WIT Solutions. So here I got a chance to explore on GCP Cloud. In GCP Cloud, I worked on Compute Engine, IAM, VPC, firewall rules, and Cloud Build, Cloud Deploy, Cloud SQL, BigQuery, and mainly GKE, Google Kubernetes Engine. Here newly I worked on alerting tools, PagerDuty, and Splunk on call also for another project. So from Splunk on call, we used to get alerts, and based on the tunnels, we used to debug the issues. And after acknowledging the ticket, and if I don't have our team don't have the access, we will escalate to the our superior team like L3 or L4. And yeah, from last 2.5 years onwards, I'm working on GCP Cloud, and these are my skill set.
All right.
Yeah.
So, so let's just create a scenario. When you are going to create a three-tier infra, let's just suppose there is some organization that are freshly building their infrastructure on particularly AWS, right?
Okay.
So you have to create a VPC, multiple subnets, route tables, right? So
Yes.
what kind of your approach to create a highly scalable and the future prospective infrastructure? So what exactly your approach?
Yeah. Sure. Sure. Yeah. So basically, the three-tier architecture deployment. We have
Yes, yes.
database, front end, and back end. So for high scalability, my strategy should be I will go with the uh, auto scaling. Obviously, if it is highly available, suppose when there is a huge traffic on the application or instances. So if we are using auto scaling, it will create the extra instances. So for this, I will set up. I will use EC2 instances, and then I will enable the auto scaling. And for better, more auto scaling and highly scalability, I will go with the EKS clusters. I will deploy
Mhm.
the pods and in the EKS cluster. So this is my strategy for three-tier application.
So, and what about DR?
Sorry,
How you can manage DR? Disaster recovery.
oh, disaster. Yeah, okay. Disaster recovery. Yeah. Uh, every weekly we need to take the snapshots of the database. Suppose if we are using
Mhm.
RDS, or if you are
Mhm.
using S3 buckets, we need to take the
Mhm.
uh, that for DR like recovery by
Mhm.
using Amazon snapshots.
Okay. So, so in AWS, there is a term called AWS organization, or we can say org. So,
Yes,
what
yes.
exactly the perspective of AWS organization?
Uh, like AWS organization, uh, if we are working in one organization, we
Mm-hmm.
can create the multiple accounts. Suppose that allows to you, it will allows centrally managed for multiple AWS accounts. It is we can develop a hierarchical structure, It is mainly used for management and for billing and policy management, policy
Hmm.
things.
All right. So what is the main functionality or the key features of AWS organization? What is the benefits of AWS organization?
Yeah, benefits, it is we can manage the multiple AWS accounts, and it is benefit for the security and billing. We can
Okay.
have the centralized billing, and we can improve our security services, and we have the account management and cost optimization, main cost optimization and resource management,
Mhm.
and it is good for better for auditing when we audit it.
Okay, okay, all right.
Yeah.
So when you are creating a VPC and the CIDR of the VPC is slash 20 slash 16. Just take a scenario, you take a CIDR of VPC slash 16. So
Okay.
how you can segregate that CIDR to multiple subnets and what is your approach to take a CIDR of a VPC? What kind of key checks you maintain? So how much CIDR I will take for a particular infrastructure?
Okay. Cider VPC we have 16. Right?
Yes.
16. Suppose we have the 16.
Yes, yes, yes.
Mm,
So how you can segregate that CIDR into a multiple subnets? Let's suppose how much subnets you will provide to a public subnet or the database subnet or the middleware subnet.
mm.
So
Yeah,
what is your approach? How you can segregate that CIDR?
exactly. Yeah, now I got it. Yeah. So we have the as you told 16 VPCs. So based on the application performance and mainly thing, out of 16 we need to dedicate 8 VPCs. We need to 4 for private subnet and 4 for public subnet, and remaining 8 we can set up for the like to accept the internet gateway IGW.
Okay,
Yeah, 4 for private subnet, 4 for public subnet, remaining 8 for to create the route tables. So we can
okay, okay.
segregate out of 16. We can
So
segregate in this
so for which subnet you provide a more CIDR?
more side, like private subnet or public subnet, more side.
Yes, for which subnet you will provide a more CIDR? For the database, for the application, or for the middleware?
Okay, okay. Uh, if it is application is big like e-commerce one or banking one, definitely I will
Mm-hmm.
segregate the. Um, I will take 10 for the database side,
Okay.
and if it is yeah no if it is e-commerce one, we have the lot of customers from the different of regions, so we can segregate
Mm-hmm.
10 for the networking and remaining 8 for the databases and the remaining part.
Okay, okay, all right.
Yeah.
So what exactly the main purpose of net gateway?
uh, uh, NAT gateway, uh, yeah, we use NAT gateway to communicate between the two subnets, like private subnet and subnet, public subnet.
Mm-hmm. And
Yeah.
how what is the functionality of net gateway? How it protect your private subnet to expose your applications? What exactly the working of net gateway?
Uh, yeah, NAT gateway exactly works. Yeah, we have two subnets, private subnet and public subnet.
Mm-hmm.
NAT gateway, uh, it will main functionalities. It will restrict the external data from unknown sources. It will restrict the uh, unknown data. That is the functionality of NAT gateway for to the private subnets.
Okay, okay, right.
And
So,
to expose
mhm.
the internet, we use IGW, Internet Gateway, for private subnets.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
For particularly net gateway, there is a you can say static IP is allotted to a net gateway, right?
Okay. Yeah. Start.
Right. So why static IP is always allocated to a net gateway? Why not a dynamic? So how it prevent your private subnet to expose your data over a public internet. Let's just suppose there
Yeah.
is a request is comes up through a internet gate it through a IGW, then
Mm.
it comes up to your public subnet.
Mm.
Then after public subnet, there is a roles comes up with a net gateway, right?
Yes,
So
yes.
your request firstly communicate with your net gateway.
Not
So
gateway.
how it prevent to your external request to provide a to provide a data without expose your application real data.
Mm. Yeah, without exposing our internal data, right, to the internet.
Yes. How it
Yeah.
provide your application data to a external request.
Yeah,
And it works as a bidirectional or the unidirectional.
NAT gateway. You're asking about
Yes.
NAT gateway. Yeah, NAT gateway it is a yeah unidirectional way. It is single way. Uh, mm, yeah, because the subnet, the private subnet itself have the within the private be private,
Mhm.
so it won't expose to our internet. So if you want to uh, expose without if we don't want to expose our entire data, then we can
Mhm.
use the IGW to
Okay.
not disclose our actual data to the internet. That's what we
Okay.
do here.
All right. So have you heard about isolated subnet?
Yeah, isolated subnets. Yeah, without isolated subnets are private one.
Okay.
Yeah.
No. Isolated subnets are different and the private subnets are different.
Okay, okay. Isolated. Yeah, the name isolated subnets are. It won't communicate with the. Um,
All right.
yeah. Mm,
Just jump on another question. So
yeah,
how
yeah.
you can ensure the highly availability and the disaster recovery for your AWS workload?
Yeah, sure. Mainly the highly availability for we need to use one thing is auto scaling service. We need to enable for the all EC2 missions.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, and one more thing we can use the EKS service, Elastic Kubernetes service. It is mainly used for
Mm-hmm.
the highly scalability because whenever there is in a huge load on the our nodes and servers, so it will we will give the maximum power, maximum nodes for minimum node is one. If there is no
Mm-hmm.
if there is no utilization more than 70%, so the nodes will delete. Whenever the utilize whenever the CPU utilization and memory it is greater than the 70% or 80%, it will create the new nodes. In this way we can maintain our application highly scalability and it will reduce the cost also. And
All
for
right.
disaster
So,
requirement, for
mhm.
every weekly we need to do the backups.
Okay. So could you please brief out me what exactly the difference between the highly availability and the disaster recovery?
Sure. uh, Highly availability, it will the application we need to keep our application uh, for high, always um, always to be available. Highly availability means even though when the uh, worst situations like CPU utilization is getting more and RAM is running lot of, so if you use the
Mm-hmm.
uh, uh, highly availability, our application should be stable.
Mm-hmm.
And users highly available, when we use the highly availability, uh, the users can't face any issue. So coming to the
Okay.
disaster management, so even though if we have the highly availability, suddenly if our
Mm-hmm.
server crashes or it's completely down, there should be
Mm-hmm.
some recovery, right? So this is also important. Disaster recovery management is also important. So every week we
So,
need to
so,
take the
so you
snapshots.
should So you should implement multiple AZ, right, for the disaster recovery. If in
Yeah,
case the
multiple.
one availability zone is goes down, then the second availability zone is always be there for your disaster recovery, right?
Yes, yes, we need to enable.
Okay. Okay. So what is exactly the RTO and the RPO in
Sorry,
disaster recovery? What
RP.
is exactly the RTO and RPO in disaster recovery?
Okay.
Have you heard
Uh,
about RTO, RPO?
Yeah, RDO and RPO.
RTO and RPO.
Yeah, um, yeah, that is RDO means, yeah, I seen that
Okay, okay. No worries.
like disaster
So,
recovery DR and
mhm.
disaster recovery, and RTO means recovery time objective. Yeah,
Okay. So,
yeah,
so
like
for this, mhm.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
time
go ahead.
objective means, yeah, RTO means time objective, like it is a maximum acceptable downtime after a
Mm-hmm.
disaster. So RPO means uh, recovery point objective. This is P stands for point, T for time. So maximum acceptable for data loss. So that is the difference.
All right. So, have you worked on a load balancer
Yeah, worked on
in
load balance.
AWS?
Yeah,
Also,
yes,
so
yes.
what kind of load balancer AWS provides?
Application load balancer, network load balancer, and yeah, worked on mainly these load balancers.
So, what
Application worked on,
exactly is the difference between the application load balancer and the network load balancer?
and we one more have, sorry, elastic load balancer also.
Okay. So elastic load balancer is a application load balancer. Network load
Yeah,
balancer is a also elastic load balancer, and
elastic
the
load balancer,
third one is a gateway load balancer. You can say,
gateway load balancer. Yeah.
right? So what exactly difference between the application load balancer and the network load balancer?
Uh, yeah, application load balancer. Um, it will deal with the application related to the application one, and when the network load balancer, we will configure in network load balancer we have the HTTP and HTTPS, so we'll configure that things, and mainly the OS layer like ALB application ALB works on layer 7, and network load balancer works on layer 4, and uh, and it is application is used for the web application, microservices, and gateways, and network load balancer is used for uh, use cases. It is mainly for supports high performance and low latency we use.
Okay,
NLB is for mainly TCP, UDP, and TLS.
all right.
Yeah,
Okay. So have you worked on the Route 53 as well?
yeah, Route 53 to create the
So
DNS
there
names.
are different routing policies are available in a Route 53,
Yes.
right?
So sorry, your voice is breaking. Route 53 I worked on. Yeah, I worked on Route
Okay,
53.
now is it
Yeah, now it is
now is
clear.
it
Yeah, now it's
audible?
clear. Yeah, now
Okay.
it is
So
audible.
there are different routing policies in available in a Route 53.
Yes, yeah.
Can you brief out it?
Yeah, routing policies in Route 53, right? Yeah, after creating the DNS names, the routing policies we have we use the target groups mainly. Target groups uh, mm, and one is before the simple routing, and one it is weighted routing, and one more we have latency routing and follower routing. So these are the types we have. Am I audible, Rishabh? Sorry.
Sorry.
Yeah, types of routing policies are simple routing and weighted
Mhm,
routing, latency
mhm.
routing, and follower routing.
Okay. So
And we
what
have some
exactly the
other extra.
difference? Okay. So what exactly the difference between the geolocation routing policy and the simple routing policy? Do you
Simple
know about the
routing,
geolocation?
yeah, geolocation and geo proximity also uses.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, simple routing, it will traffic to the resources, single
Mm-hmm.
resources. Geolocation, geolocation routing, it's routes based on the user geographic location. So that is the difference.
And what is in geo proximity?
Geo proximity also, it will based on the proximity to the resources. It is optional basis we have,
Okay.
based on the
Okay.
proximity to resources.
Let's just take a scenario. Uh,
Yeah.
you have a like 1 TB plus data in your S3 bucket. So
Okay.
you want to optimize your cost, particularly for the that bucket having a 1 TB plus data, right?
Okay.
So
Yes.
what exactly your approach, how you can optimize your cost for that particular S3 bucket?
Okay. In S3 bucket only, we take in the 1 TB of storage.
Yes.
So we need to optimize that 1 TB.
Yes, yes.
Yeah. Okay. Got it. Yeah. Yeah, we can optimize the data. Initially, we need to check. We created the S3 bucket with 1 TB storage,
Mm-hmm.
and so we can check the uh, creating. Like we have to choose the right storage class. That is important. Right storage class. We have standard one or that we can think like
So what
enabling the
kind of
life
storage
cycle
class are
policies.
present in a AWS S3?
Sorry, what?
What kind of storage class are available in a AWS S3?
Yeah, we have standard.
Hmm.
St- we have standard and uh, glacier and archive. These are the storage classes available.
Okay. Let's suppose there are multiple objects are present in that S3 bucket, and you want my object particularly goes in a AWS deep glacier bucket, right?
Okay.
For the 30 days. But at the 30th day, it automatically comes up to your AWS S3 standard bucket, right? That
Okay.
object automatically comes in a S3 bucket, S3 standard bucket. So how you can achieve this?
So initially our object in the glacier.
Yes, for the
So
30-day. But the 30th
for
day,
30
it automatically comes up in a standard.
standard. Okay. Automatically.
Yes. How you can
Oh,
do that?
yeah, we can write the bucket policies that we had to write the bucket policies. Initially, the object should be in the glacier. Later, it will come to the it should change the storage class from glacier to the standard one.
All right. So have you worked on the AWS EKS as well?
Yeah, yeah, worked on EKS also.
So which CNI is used in AWS EKS by default?
Uh, by default, CNI.
Yes.
Yeah, that by default it will use default namespace. It will use.
Okay. Okay. So what is a service account in Kubernetes?
Yeah, service account in Kubernetes. There we can say configure our different types of account. I mean,
Hmm.
pods to interact with the Kubernetes API, and
Mm-hmm.
it is designed for the process running inside the pods, mainly to
Okay.
identify the pods, and it automatically mounts the token and the credentials into the pods.
Okay. So could you please explain me what is exactly the flow of traffic for your application? Let's just suppose a user hit a www.cars24.com. So
Yeah,
how the request is comes to your port? What exactly the flow?
yeah. Uh, yeah, when user hitted www.flipkart.com,
Mm-hmm.
so the traffic flow depends on how external clients access the services.
Okay.
And in this, the components involve the pod runs a container and service, and
Mm-hmm.
it will depend on the ingress controller, route section,
Mm-hmm.
HTTP and HTTPS, and then it will come to the load balancer. It will distribute to the traffic,
Mm-hmm.
and after the load balancer, it will check the queue proxy, and then come to the network policies, the control flow.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
All right.
yeah. Mainly, this is a traffic flow like client request is, and it will go to the DNS,
Mm-hmm.
DNS external load balancer, and then ingress and services.
Okay. Okay. So,
Yeah.
do you have any question from me? So that's it from my side.
Okay, Ashim. So, what is the current project you're working in? Can you tell few points about your
So
current
there
project?
is a multiple projects I am handling
Hmm.
right now. So
Okay.
I'm working as a lead on a multiple fintech project. So the
Okay. Okay.
requirement of fintech project is current, matlab, totally a different, because in a fintech there is a
Hmm.
compliance called DPDP. So they will not
Okay.
provide a directly access to your architecture. So you have to
Hmm.
guide their own DevOps team, right?
Yes. Yes.
So
I'm
yeah.
understood.
So exactly, I'm working on a multiple cloud
Multiple
like
projects.
Azure, GCP, and the AWS.
Yeah. Great. Great. Hmm. So, sorry for the delay. I was stuck in another meeting.
All right,
Sorry.
no issue.
I'm a, and what is feedback of my interview? Like, definitely, I will work on these things. I will improve myself.
Yeah, yeah. For exactly,
Hmm.
you should improve yourself on a basic, right? There are a
Hmm.
multiple things are in a Route 53 as well, plus in a S3 as well. So
Yeah.
there
Yeah.
is a term called life cycle policy, or you can say a life cycle manager in
Hmm.
S3 available, right? And
Yes. Yes.
in AWS, there is a three AWS right now, AWS support, and the application load balancer
Hmm.
working is totally different. Like AWS, in AWS application load balancer IPs is always change, right?
Yes.
But in
It's
network
dynamic.
load balancer, it's not, right?
Yeah.
So you have to just go through, or you can say, brush up your basic things as of
Yeah.
now.
Yeah. Definitely.
Apart from that, all things are good.
Yeah. Thank you, Rishabh. So, is there any further round is also there, or this is any final?
Yeah, this is your final round, or the HR comes up to you for
Okay. Okay.
your feedback, or is there any further round is as well.
Yeah. Definitely, I will work on things, and definitely, I will focus on these things. Thank you,
Sure,
Rishabh.
sure. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Bye bye.